Welcome back, Washiel 3 here, and you're joining me for AOR Season 13, Round 7 in Austria. You're actually picking up at the end of the qualifying session. It's been wet all the way through. I'm P11 at the moment, but really struggling to get a solid lap down. I mean, you can just see by me working the wheel on the corners that it was a struggle to keep hold of the car, but I had to keep a dry setup because it was going to be dry in the race. So this is just the start of what turns out to be my fastest lap. It's just over a minute and a half left on the clock, so there's not much more chances to get it right. I mean, Dexter's been flying this qualifying session. He's in a pole position at the minute with I think it's a 1:17.9 it says there. And anyway, coming out of that first sector, I think I got a purple sector there, so I must have done alright. And this was one of the corners I was struggling with to get right normally. It just requires a lot of patience, especially in the wet, but didn't do too bad there. So I've been looking forward to this race. I did quite a bit of practice with the guys during the week, and yeah, just looking forward to it really. And quite a few people have shown quite a lot of pace, so everyone was quite close as well. So it was definitely looking to be an exciting race. This last couple of corners, just get just enough curb there to not get it invalidated. I'm coming down onto the straight now, and we go over the line, and that puts me up to third behind Dexter and Gogglebox. So yeah, I was very happy with that. I went again, but I couldn't improve. So yeah, third overall. That was my best ever qualifying in both seasons I've raced in AOR. Cam was 10th. We're expecting a lot better from Cam because he's really good in the wet. Managed to get ahead of Thomas Brown, and more than amazing. And Xavier's returned for a race with us as a reserve. He joined us last season, and he's a very fast guy. So to be in front of all those on the grid, yeah, very happy with that. Right, need to make sure I don't mess up the start like I did in Canada, or I jumped it, but I only lasted 2 corners, so it didn't really matter anyway. Anyway, don't make the best of starts. Thomas Brown gets ahead of me. I mean, we're going to that corner side by side. He leaves me just enough room to keep going. So it's just a case of just trying to tag on to these guys in front of me, because I don't feel like I have the 1 lap pace to keep up with them. But you know, using the slipstream and hoping they battle with each other just to keep me in contention. I think there was actually a big crash on that hairpin. I think Xavier went absolutely flying. Yeah, I mean, I'm doing alright on this first lap. Pulling away a bit from the people behind us, but I think Matty D's the guy. Yeah, Matty D's in 4th behind me, so it won't be long before he catches up. He's a very quick guy. I decided to start on the softs, and that was completely on the basis of getting through the first lap or so clean, so without damaging my wing, or it'd have just made my whole strategy undoable really. So I managed to achieve that, but with them being on faster tyres, it was just a real struggle to keep up for him, and at this point Matty D's reeled me in. Coming down this straight, he's starting to have a little look, planning his move. And in the braking zone I noticed his proximity arrows, so I brake a little bit early and tried to do the switchback on him, and it worked. He ran a little bit wide, so I managed to keep ahead for the next corner. Zek behind us now, but he's on the ultra soft, so I'm not sure if he started on them or not. Yeah, I think he did actually. I mean, 6 laps in, they must be starting to get a bit warm. But yeah, safety car came out here. I think it was our commentator Alan. He retired his car and unfortunately caused a safety car, which wasn't ideal for me personally, but Gogglebox dived into the pits, so that put me up to 3rd. And it was a bit of a shame for Dexter, really, because he was pulling out quite a nice lead. Obviously, the safety car bunched them all back together, and you know, Thomas Brown's the last guy you want on your tail. But again, it just gives me another chance to latch onto the back of them, steal a bit of slipstream, and hopefully keep up. You know, I pulled away a little bit from the guys behind me, and they're battling ahead, which is nice. Thomas Brown makes the move on Dexter, but he was a little bit wide, and that's left the door open for me, and you don't have to ask me twice, I'll be in there. I mean, Dexter was really, really, really quick around this track, so I don't hold much hopes of keeping up with him. And having Thomas Brown behind me is, you know, I'm not going to be able to keep him there for long, but you know, I just have to do the best I can. I need to go long into this race on the soft, so staying out of trouble's probably the #1 priority. Yeah, so with that in mind, you know, I'm not going to fight Thomas Brown too hard here, because he's clearly faster, and you know, it's not going to benefit me or my strategy getting in any scuffles. Comes up the straight here. His proximity arrows are alongside. Give him a little bit of room when turning in to make sure neither of us hit each other, and he doesn't run me out wide either, so a lot of respect there. Both carry on racing, because ultimately if we collide, neither of us are winners, are we? We're both out. So I'll do the same again, leave him room to turn in. Leaves me just enough room there. Yeah, he's through. Good clean racing there. But Jamesy, the cheeky little... Yeah, well, he sneaked up the inside and nicked a place off me. And again, I'll try and leave him enough room there not to affect my race or his, and he's through. Oh, Densmo's having a go now, so my positions are in free fall. Just coming out of this corner, I lose the back end ever so slightly, and that gives Densmo the momentum, and probably my fault to steer into him a bit there, but caused a lot of commotion in the chat, and then I forgot to shift gears because I was talking, and then Gogglebox just absolutely wipes me off the track. Wings absolutely ruined, race is ruined. I think I lost my temper a little bit at the time, and yeah, race ruining experience really, and going to the pits for a new wing, but it just leaves me so far behind that there was no getting back into the race really. I did consider going to the stewards about it, but it's not really me. He apologised and that was enough. I don't think he intended to do it, but it did end my race at the end of the day. Well, not end, but you know, I was never going to get any points. I was never going to do anything from here. I did consider quitting, but it's not really my style. Just carried on. You never know what happens in an AOR race, so there's always a chance of points. Things could go seriously wrong at any point. Yeah, I've got Cam behind me here. I don't really know what happened in his race. Expecting him to be a lot nearer the front because he's very fast on this track. Yeah, goes up the inside of me there. Notice the arrows, don't turn into him. And there he is. He's through and he's off, to be honest. Leaves me for dust, man. Yeah, I mean, we're on lap like 16 or something now, but we're on lap 32 now because literally nothing happened. I was just driving around on my own, so there's nothing to really show you really. I mean, at this point I was thinking I need to try and catch up Adibals, and Hoink Doink I think was in front of him, maybe try and catch him. Just little targets to keep me interested. I assume Adibals' tyres were pretty warm there because got past a little bit too easy. Adibals usually puts up a nice fight and we have good battles. We had a lot of them in season 12. Yeah, sorry if my voice is a bit funny. I've got a bit of sore throat and a bit ill at the moment, but I thought I'd get this video finished and then I can start concentrating on the next round. Yeah, Gogglebox is in second at this point. I'm driving round. Start pulling him in, so I think let's unlap ourselves if we can. So then that was the plan anyway, and catch him up. Did cross the line to give him a bit of a wallop in revenge, but that sort of thing will get you banned from AOR for life, so thought better of that. Not that I would, obviously, but you know me. You know me. Yeah, I didn't get the best of exits there, but with the slipstream, thinking I can take him down into this corner. So I'll brake a little bit heavier so I can stay on line and not go off the side. And I'm through, and I leave him pretty quickly as well, actually. Just a little bit gutting all this, because I thought I was on for a really good result this race. You know, maybe even my first podium. Ha! As if that's going to happen. No, I couldn't even manage 4th, it was 14th this time. But never mind. And this is it, this is just... I'm a lap down. Thomas Brown's still winning the race, so... when he goes over the line, which will be very shortly, most likely this will be my last lap. Yep. Congrats to Tom Brown for winning. Another good victory, that's 2 in a row. I come over the line in 14th. And that's it. Squizzer came second. He's just joined back as a full-time driver now. He came second in the championship in season 12, so it's good to have him back. He's a good driver. And Dexter disappointingly finished in 11th, which is a real shame because he was doing really, really well, but some bad shit happens, don't it? Right, anyway, that's all from me. I've really struggled with this commentary, but hopefully it'll be a bit better next time. And I'll see you for round 8 Silverstone. Take it easy, guys.